Alright everyone, so it looks like Kevin Owens, KO himself, has started a beef with Melissa Joan Hart. If you don't know who Melissa Joan Hart is, she is most notably known as Sabrina from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which I assume everybody knows from their childhood if they're above 18. And she's also from the current TV show Melissa and Joey. She of course plays Melissa. Now, the way this beef started, like, it's an actual beef. When I say that, I mean it actually is, mostly on Twitter. And this all started because of the Kevin Owens versus Neville match in the quarterfinals of the WWE Championship tournament that was going on Raw. Owens and Neville were having their match as typical, and Melissa Joan Hart, who is a fan of WWE, was just, tweeting about Raw during the show like we all do, hashtagging Raw and whatnot. And she says that Kevin Owens seems kind of lazy. He is a way better wrestler when he was wrestling in NXT and in the indie world, and when now in the WWE, he's kind of holding back a little bit. She doesn't feel like he's giving it his all, and I wouldn't say I agree 100% with her, but I agree somewhat with her because I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Kevin Owens. I've stated it before, but I can see where she's coming from because he could do so much more, and that's what she wants to see. She doesn't want to see a wrestler waste their talent. Understandable, but Kevin Owens didn't understand it, and when he responded back, it was enough for him to block Melissa Joan Hart. Even other wrestlers are blocking Melissa and hashtagging I stand with Owen. I find that hashtag hilarious. Hopefully this little beef goes on further and Melissa comes on to WWE Raw. That'd be hilarious. I'd want to see something like that happen, but I don't think it'll be more than that. Just like friendly, keeping kayfabe alive on Twitter and whatnot. Next up, we have Charlotte's mother reacts to Raw ending. If you didn't see this recent episode of Monday Night Raw, there is this moment when Charlotte and Paige are having their contract signing because they will have a Divas Championship match at Survivor Series for the title. And during that segment, there is a moment that a lot of people are calling so controversial that has happened before in WWE that people have called BS on and saying that they shouldn't do that. And the moment was when Paige brought up Charlotte's brother, Reid Flair, who actually passed away a couple years ago because of overdose. When I say a couple years ago, it was like 4 years ago or something along that line. I can't remember exactly when I looked it up earlier. But Charlotte's mother and so many other people that love WWE really did not like that moment. They didn't like that the WWE creative team wrote that in there for Paige to bring up, especially because it kind of looked like Charlotte was feeling like she was having real emotions going on there when maybe she wasn't told about her brother being mentioned. And it felt like Paige felt something as well, kind of when she was talking about her brother. This was a very hard topic to just go out there and do in the promos. I'm surprised that WWE Creative even tried to do this. They tried this before with Eddie Guerrero and after he passed away, and people hated on that. I'm surprised they tried this. Charlotte's mother, of course, didn't take it too kindly, calling the WWE writers really lazy and other people calling it garbage and whatnot. Very understandable because this is the topic that really nobody should be talking about if it's not with the family, especially on live television. It's one of those things you can't really run away from, and they might start to hide that in the next upcoming week or so. They might not even put that in the promos. Next up, we have Rey Mysterio is open to a WWE part-time return. He says he's doing pretty good right now. He's having to spend a lot of time with his family. He's loving it because when he was with the WWE, he was, of course, doing what he loved, wrestling, traveling the world, meeting a lot of his fans, but he didn't get to spend a lot of time with his family. Very understandable why he quit. He still does some wrestling when he can down there in AAA, possibly Lucha Underground, hopefully. But he says he doesn't have any bad blood with WWE. He would want to go back if he's able to do part-time and the schedule's matched and whatnot because he really wants to spend time with his family. He doesn't want to miss any more time in his kids' childhood. So, awesome. It would be cool if he came back, but I respect his decision if he does it. Next up, we have traditional Survivor Series match has been added to Survivor Series. I was waiting for when this was going to happen. We've been hearing some of the matches that were going to happen for Survivor Series, and the traditional Survivor Series tag team match wasn't announced. I was wondering, are we going to have that pay-per-view where it doesn't have the match? We've had one before in WWE, but I thought they were going to fix that. I thought they were going to continue to have one every year. and the participants of the match haven't been announced as of yet, but it's up in the air, really. I mean, I don't know who could be. Comment down below who you would want in that match. Anybody could show up, really. Anybody from NXT, anybody backstage, I don't know. And lastly, updated Survivor Series card, because as of this past Monday night episode of Raw, there have been some matches that have been added to Survivor Series. Let's go down the list. Some of them you already know, such as WWE Divas titles match, Paige versus Charlotte, you know that. Undertaker and Kane versus 2 members of the Wyatt family. No, not all 4 members, only 2 members of the Wyatt family. That's been confirmed for Survivor Series. And the other matches are the semifinal matches in the WWE Championship Tournament, Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns versus Alberto Del Rio. Now, those will take place on the night, like early in the night of the card. And the other match that has been added is the tournament finals to crown a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and it will either be Kevin Owens or Dean Ambrose facing off against Roman Reigns or Alberto Del Rio. Of course, it feels obvious that it's going to be Ambrose and Reigns, but that match will possibly take place at the very end, and it will be the main event. I'm just speculating at this point, but it seems likely.